Hey everybody, this video is going to talk about our week 3 discussion forum. So what are we doing? What are we talking about? So we are in week 3 of the class and chapter 2 of your textbook that is looking at the history of substance use treatment. And that's kind of what our focus was with the supplemental material for this week as well. So this forum, we are looking to share more about really your thoughts and opinions in addition on how substance use disorder impacts an individual, and then also bringing in some of that course material as well. So initial primary posts are due by Wednesday of this week, and you are going to discuss how does addiction affect one's health. So I want to see course content incorporated here. So you're citing your materials, you're incorporating you're incorporating course materials. If there's outside resources that are helpful for that, to kind of justify your response here, then go ahead and bring in some outside stuff. And then what do you think is the best way to treat addiction and why do you think so? And so while this is your opinion, I want you to support your opinion by including resources as well. I think that this is the best way to treat addiction because it addresses blah, 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 and you are citing sources with that as well. So you're justifying your opinion by incorporating course materials there. And then response posts are due by Friday. And you want to, in your 2 response posts, you can do more. In your response posts, you want to state, answer these questions. So are there any considerations about how addiction impacts one's health that your classmate may have overlooked? And it's okay if they did. There are numerous impacts here. So, as you're reading through that primary post, you might be like, oh yeah, but they're not considering this. I want to make sure that they do consider this. So I'm going to add that to my post. Or, hey, as I was reading through this and you said A, B, and C, it reminded me of this, and incorporate that there. So I also, again, you want to make sure that you are citing materials in your responses as well. And then number 2 of this is identifying commonalities and differences in how you would treat addiction. Again, so looking at, they said that they would use this concept. I want to use this concept. So, and then again, in looking at, well, is one way better than the other? Why or why not? Are there certain variables that influence what is better or best when it comes to treating addiction? So is it population specific? Is that one of the variables? Is it, is it related to the person's level of care, level of motivation? So all of those things. So what might those variables be that would have you making different decisions about how you might address somebody who was looking to you for help? So again, I think we're getting used to the forums here, but note that after you do your primary post, it takes about 15 minutes for Moodle to process and update that and allow you to see the response, the other initial and primary posts from your classmates. So just note that. And remember confidentiality. I'm not going to talk about this in depth in every video, but it's a key practice behavior. So you are required to maintain the confidentiality. What happens in class stays in class. And lastly, grading criteria. So review your grades on all of these things. And if you are getting low grades, it's likely because you're not following the grading, you're not providing the information required from the grading rubric. So click on this link here and review the grading criteria and review what information should be included in forums, how they should be formatted, and what I'm looking for. You can always email me as well, but reviewing this is a good place to start because this tells you exactly how I'm going to be grading. So when you're ready, click post your discussion here and get those primary posts in. I'm looking forward to learning more about where your guys' heads are at right now about, addressing substance use and and what you're looking at. So thanks, everybody.